Welcome back. In the previous class, we have did what is function prototype, we have seen a program out of it and understand how it works. Today, we are doing a very important topic which is called as recursion. This is an extremely important topic which you have to understand, but I would recommend you, if you have not seen any of my lectures in functions, do watch them and then come back over here, because without function it will be difficult for you to understand recursion. So make sure you do that. So let's talk about recursion and what is it, how does it work? Well, if I have to give you a very simple idea about recursion is, we simply say that function calling itself. Now you may not understand this statement which I have written here, function calling itself. What does it mean? Simply, we have a function and that function calls the same function. We call it as a recursion. So it's like, if I have to show you with a diagram, it will be something like this. Let's say I have a function void r, and inside here I have the same function r and r again. So as you can see, same function is calling itself inside it. This process we call it as recursion. This process will continue happening until the condition becomes false. It will keep on happening. That is, the recursion will keep on happening until the condition becomes false. Now there can be a possibility that we can get infinite recursion. That means the process will keep on going on. For that, there are different ways are there. You can use if else loops and all those things. But yes, you can even get infinite recursion. So that can be also a possibility. You can understand recursion much more better with a program. So let me show you a program and I'll explain you what exactly is happening on it. So over here I have a program where it is finding the factorial of a number. Our main important thing is only just line number 19. That is the most important thing, but still I'll explain the whole program. First, as you can see, function prototype we have learned in the previous class. So factorial is a function, int is a data type I have passed to it. In the main function, two variables are there, int n and result. Taking the input, result is storing the factorial n. This n I'm passing it to the function. So I'm assuming I don't know anything inside the function definition. Then I'm simply printing the factorial of n equal to result. Fine. Now let's go back to the function definition. So the function definition is, I'm passing a parameter int n. Now you see here very carefully, if the n, that is the input that you have given, is greater than 1, I'm returning n multiplied by same function called -1. So what does it mean? What does this thing means is, if let's say I have, if you don't know what is factorial of a number, if let's say I write 5 factorial, we write like this, or you can write like this as well. The same thing goes like this, 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 until we reach the 1. So the answer is 120. If let's say you have 3 factorial, so 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 will get 6. The same thing. So what exactly is happening is, I'm returning what? I'm returning n multiplied by same function n minus 1. What does it mean? If let's say I have given 5 as input, so what will happen is, I have 5 here, then 5 multiplied by function of 5 minus 1. That means 5 multiplied by function of 4. Now this 4 will again go to the function. It will check if your n is greater than 1, then again you have to write n multiplied by factorial of n minus 1. Now since our 4 is greater than 1, so it will happen like this, 4 minus 1. So it will be 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial. And again the process will continue. 3 will come here, then factorial of 2. Again process will continue. 3. And lastly, when it is 1, it is given in the statement, if n is equal to 1, it will return 1. So that means this thing will give us 1. So at last we'll get 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 120. So that is the concept. So we're calling the same function over and over again until we get the desired result. So this is the concept of factorial. So factorial we'll get in maths also. Same thing we're applying over here. This you can do using normal function or using recursion. Now as you can see over here in the program, that else return 1. That means when n becomes or close to 1, then we'll return 1 over there when this condition is false, if n is not equal to 1. Now here, if one thing is to be marked out, you have entered positive number, because factorial of a number does not exist for negative numbers. So that you have to mark it, that negative numbers cannot have factorials, only positive numbers. So that's why I have not put the condition that if n is equal to 1. I have just written else n is equal to 1, because I am asking the user, you have to put only positive integers. If you put negative integers, it will not work. So that is the concept. That is how factorial works. Most important line is the line number 19. I'm simply calling the function again and again. You can do other programs also using factorial. Like here, we don't have to use the concept of loops. So the same program I could have done using loops also. But here, since I'm using recursion, I don't need the concept of loops. I'm simply calling over the function again. So you can see it's a kind of like a loop only. But here it's looping of functions. Same function. So if you have any doubt regarding recursion, you can put down in the comment section.